Hey guys, welcome. My name is Ben. Um, you know, if health has been a concern of yours, it definitely became a concern of mine. I was diagnosed with diabetes quite a while ago. I can tell you now that the pandemic was not a very good thing for me. Um, at the time, I was on an injectable medication. It was not insulin. But I can tell you that the pandemic and the effect that it had has left me scratching my head and searching for something real and something different ever since the pandemic happened. So I'm going to go over some of my personal results with you guys. That way you can kind of see that really not joking about this. As you can see, I'm still kind of a heavier guy. I have come to realize that one of the major things with diabetic control is also getting weight loss and accomplishing weight loss through a few things. One, and ironically, one of the most important things is actually good, healthy sleep. Another majorly important thing is getting the right amount of exercise, and then on top of that, eating the right foods to promote better blood sugar control. Um, you know, if if you've been struggling, I want to tell you that you're not alone. I've actually been struggling with this diabetic journey for the better part of 6 years now. The pandemic, like I said, it really opened my eyes up when I couldn't get those medications. Um, it couldn't even joke and tell you that it made me make a lot of wrong choices because I kind of stopped caring for a while, and then I started caring a lot. So we are going to go over some of my early numbers first and foremost, and then we're going to go over some of my more current numbers. So you can kind of see at the top of the screen here, these are back from March of 21. Um, Not sure why my A1C is not listed there, but it is what it is. Oh, it is listed there, 6.3. Um, it might have been the first time I was diagnosed. I cannot tell you for sure, but obviously it was in a diabetic range. Um, let's see. Oh, I think that was my deficiency in vitamin D3. Normal value is greater than 30. There we go. Back June the 1st of 22, which was right after the pandemic really started to loosen up for everyone. I was at 9.1 for A1C. Um, let's see here. Some of my other concerning ones. My anion gap was actually good here, but my ALT, I'll point this out back in June of 22. My ALT was already starting to go up. I actually will share more on that as we go on. My cholesterol here was greater than or less than or equal to, yeah, my triglycerides were going up a little bit in 21, but not enough to actually have me on anything stupid. Let's see. No, it's not a good one. Oh, My testosterone was within range, on the lower end of the range, and probably not actually a healthy testosterone for someone at my age at the time. We're talking 4 years ago, that would have put me in my early to mid 40s. But again, doctors deem it as you're in a good range. White blood cell count, red blood cell count, all within good acceptable ranges. My HDB, acceptable range. Platelets, acceptable range. So again, from 21, looks pretty good. Not detected, not detected. Hey, how about that? I wasn't on cocaine when I had this test done, or amphetamine, yeah, whatever that is, or methadone, or barbiturates, or oxycodone. And I can tell you now that I actually had these tests done. I was considering going through weight loss surgery for a gastric bypass. I will tell you that I did enough digging that I personally chose not to have that surgery done. Looking back, I'm 50-50 if I'm happy that I didn't get it done, or if I feel that I should have got it done at the time. But it had a lot of side effects that I wasn't willing to risk my future for. And that is why I chose personally not to have that surgery. I will tell you all, if you're ever considering gastric bypass, do your research and see if you can live with the potential side effects of that surgery. It is not for everyone. So this, back in March 2025 of 21, um, this was kind of the lower end of my AST, ALT for a long time. And you can already see that both of those numbers at 44, when the range should be 15 to 37, and 126, when the range should be 16 to 63, both of those numbers have now become very out of control. And there are reasons why they became out of control. I will go into those. Don't let me forget. Be sure, guys, also to subscribe to this video, or subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment on this video. Let me know if you're going through some of the similar health issues that I have and currently am still dealing with. I can tell you now that it is a journey to correct some of these problems, especially after you've allowed it to chronically harm you for such a long time, which is pretty much what I have done. So it is definitely going to be a journey. It was a journey to get here. It's going to be a journey to get away from it. My goal is, guys, to ultimately not need medications. And it takes a very special person to be able to um, have that as your goal, and then to accomplish that as your goal. And I'm going to go over with some of the things that I'm going to do personally in my life to try to kick those meds to the curb on a more permanent basis. I will tell you that the longer you have diabetes, the harder it is to get rid of those medications. When I was first diagnosed, if I would have done my research, if I would have put the commitment in to making those changes when I was first diagnosed, my journey would be a lot quicker to getting to that no medications part. But because I have waited so long to address this, I've made myself my biggest enemy. And that is just something that I need to come to terms with, and I need to fix it. And, unfortunately, because of me not being able to get those medications during COVID, I just don't have the utmost faith that my health matters to anyone but me. Well, my family as well. So, trying to forge a path forward where I no longer need to be on, which currently I'm on Manjaro, where I no longer need Manjaro injections, or I no longer need Trulicity, which was one of the other ones I've been on in the past. Getting to the point where I don't need a medication is my ultimate goal. And this channel is that journey. This channel is going to be setting up that journey. It's going to, lay it on you guys. I'm going to tell you the things that I've done great in a day. I'm also going to tell you the things that I've failed at in that day. And I'm a firm believer it takes a community to raise a person, but it takes us personally holding that accountability to ourselves that we are who put us here. Now, I can go down a big long tangent of how the food choices that we are made to make at the store occasionally um, have made it possible for someone like myself or you to make the wrong choices when we're at the store because ultimately we're thinking in that moment. We're not looking at the long-term health risk or the potential health effects of that choice. We're looking at what can I eat tonight that takes 10 minutes because I only have 5. So we're not looking at if I eat this processed hot dog and this slice of bread, what effect is it going to have on me when I do this same meal tomorrow in the next day? Um, not to mention that traditionally, and it's definitely still the case, when you go to the store and you can buy all of your calories in junk food and pay half the price you can to go to the store and buy all of your calories in normal food that we should be consuming. Well, there's a problem with society, right? We've made it ultra convenient to go to the store and create health problems. We've made it hard to go to the store and make healthy decisions because sometimes it really comes down to I can't afford to eat healthy. And for a lot of people, it comes down to that choice because that box of macaroni and cheese is a lot cheaper than that bundle of asparagus. That can of tomato soup, which people probably will tell you that tomato soup's probably generally healthy. I will probably disagree, but that can of tomato soup is cheaper than that bag of salad. And if you want toppings on your salad, oh my gosh, let's not even get started on the price of tomatoes and cheese and everything else that goes into that salad. But as you can see, for the most part, through all of this, my um, my cholesterol's actually ran really good for a diabetic that's been a diabetic as long as I have. Now, I will tell you that I probably eat some things that I probably shouldn't, and we'll see when I get my next test results if I've maintained and or improved on what I think I have. But that's for a future video. Again, be sure to like this video, comment on it, let me know kind of your challenges. Um, let me know how long you've been dealing with diabetes as well. I would love to hear from you guys and see, if we can take this journey together. So, I told you that I went away from being treated for a while, and right here's what it did. So, um, a year ago this month, I decided it was time to go back to the doctor. My A1C was at 10.2. My my resting blood sugar was at 246, and that is 1 year ago this month. I'm recording this video on the 9th, literally 7 days from today. Will make 1 year that these results came in. So again, not the smartest choice that I ever made. It probably was not the right choice. Um, Vitamin B12 seemed to be fine there. And I'll tell you all about why that was fine on that day. And then I'm looking for one more. My ALT and AST. AST, ALT. So again, um, May the 16th, my AST was my AST was up a little high. My ALT, however, was still remaining about double what the normal range is. And there are reasons for that. My A1C back on June the 23rd was at 8.4. My glucose at the time was resting, fasting glucose was 194. Um, all right, there we go. Tested my iron, some other things. My AST was actually a little bit better in 23, as well as my ALT was just a little bit better. So the one thing that I did learn so far is that energy drinks are not your friend when it comes to ALT and AST. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not a doctor. I'm not here to give medical advice whatsoever. I'm just really logging kind of my journey with you guys, kind of let you know where I've been, what I've been through. But ultimately, um, I was on 6 Monster energy drinks a day. That was my fluid intake. I didn't drink any water. I didn't drink any coffee. It was Monster energy drinks, and then if I needed it, it was 5 hour energy shots. And that was my regimen for about 7 years. During that whole time, I did notice that um, obviously my diabetes got worse, but my functionality got a lot worse. Um, I really struggled to function when I was like that. So while struggling to function like that, um, it also then begged the question, right? What's going to happen when I come off of these energy drinks? Because they're high in caffeine, they're high in a lot of vitamins. I'm not going to tell you that everything in a Monster energy drink is bad for you. I'm going to tell you that everything in a Monster energy drink can be a good thing if you're having one or two of them a year. If you are living on them like I was living on them, I personally had a very bad effect. And a lot of it really come down to my AST, which is right here on this screen. I kind of, I switched doctors, and that was one of the tests my doctor ran. And it was ran April or August of last year, which I was already pretty much in range August of last year. It was still just a little bit. Actually, no, I was fully in range. So, um, August of last year, my AST was 23. This year, it's down even further to 18. And my ALT was at 43. This year, it is down to 28. Now, I don't know what bun creatine ratio is. I can tell you that it was low, whatever that is, whatever it affects. I don't know what exactly that is, but all of my other ranges on this paper here are all within range, except you guessed it, my glucose is still running high. My cholesterols were all within range. Um, So this one is an interesting one for me. I can tell you now that I appear, since fully switching off of Trulicity and onto Manjaro, I appear to be running slightly higher on my blood sugars. Um, there are probably some contributing factors, but that transformation had not fully happened um, by the time April the 9th rolled around. So my A1C August was at 7.5, which again, I did switch doctors, and the doctor felt that Manjaro was probably the best medicine for me. I personally think probably Trulicity in my current condition is the best medicine for me. With the regimen, the additional one pill that I had with Trulicity, I was seeing better weight loss and better A1C numbers. Um, in November of last year, my A1C was 6.9, and most recently, last month, my A1C was on the high end of normal, borderline diabetic at 6.3. Now, again, I am on the highest dose of Manjaro, and I have not lost a single pound in a year on Manjaro. So let's talk about how I got here. I got here because I prioritized work and money over health. Um, and when I prioritized work and money over health, I prioritized convenience, work and money over healthy choices and health. So I've done a lot of research, um, so much research. I've honestly, I'm still researching stuff, and I really started my researching project back when COVID hit. I've tried a bunch of things. Um, some things do seem to affect my blood sugar in a positive manner. I've tried other things that I can tell you that has appeared not to affect my blood sugar one drop. But the one thing that I do know, which again I'm back in November, I will tell you now, um, I was working out a little bit more than I am now. As you know, summer's getting here. I should be working out a bit more than I am, but finding that time with a very busy schedule, it's not always easy. So, you know, finding the right time to be able to go to a gym and work out, um, I've tried that for the last 6 months, and it seems like every time I try to get in a good habit, life decides to kick you while you're down. So I have, and it is something that I'm probably going to look at doing more seriously in the next year or so. Me and my wife have discussed potentially moving into that self-sustaining lifestyle of trying to do an off-grid type of living. Um, now, for me, that means a lot of things. That means I'm now controlling more of that food that I'm eating. I'm not just running out to the store and buying whatever I can afford. And instead, I'll be growing or raising whatever it is that I am eating. Um, Now, I'm not living in the fantasy world at 5'7" and 260 pounds. I'm going to be honest, I'm going to get my butt kicked when I move into this type of lifestyle. But I do think ultimately that it is the best lifestyle that I can choose to live in with my current health conditions. Um, the other thing that I have done, I've done, again, a lot of research, And I keep coming back to trying to use natural remedies as opposed to an injection from a doctor. Because again, the biggest thing that I said at the start of this video, and I'm going to come full circle back to it, is I want to get to a point where I'm not dependent on a medication because if something like COVID happens again, I don't want to be caught needing something I can't get. So I'm officially at 48 years old. I decided, you know, I moved from insurance to real estate. Now I'm deciding to go to school and pursue kind of those natural health remedies that are out there. Again, it's not going to be for everyone, guys. It is only going to be for a select number of people. And by no means am I telling you not to go to your doctor. If anything, I will encourage you to go to your doctor as often as possible. Don't ever get in a position like I personally done to myself where you get pissed off at your doctor or not being able to get something and stop going to the doctor, which is what I did. And it probably took years off of my life. I'm now trying to get those years back onto my life. And part of that is natural healing and natural medicine, in my personal opinion. It is only an opinion, it is not medical. Um, but this channel is dedicated to that journey. If it is something that you're interested in following along and learning with me and sharing with me your story, maybe we can collaborate together and talk about the benefits that we see with some of the things that we do. Um, so I have enrolled in some college courses, pursuing, herbalism type of things, natural remedies, lifestyle coaching is another one that I'm currently taking as well. It's going to be a fun semester for me at 48. Um, but ultimately, as I'm looking at that self-sustaining lifestyle, that is part of being able to have that self-sustaining lifestyle because I don't want to be right down the street from a hospital. I want distance from me and I want to be in nature and be more centered with myself and help raise my family in that type of environment. So that is what this channel is going to be dedicated to. Um, I'm not going to limit it to just diabetes, though, guys. I will tell you if I, get a cut or something, I will get on here and I'll probably film it and kind of tell you the ways I'm taking care of it. If I get sick, I will get on here and tell you kind of what I'm doing to address that sickness myself. So, other than that, guys, I appreciate you listening. I mean, it's a long first video at 30 minutes, but I do hope to hear from y'all. Be sure to like the video, comment on it, guys. Let me know your struggles. Let me know if it's food, if it's exercise, if it's just the amount of sleep we get can affect our blood sugar. So let me know if you're having trouble sleeping. I can tell you a couple tricks that I learned and make a video on what I did to help correct some of my sleep problems. Let me know exercise wise, where you're falling short of your goal, and maybe I can help encourage you to get there. Maybe we can do a challenge. Maybe we can have a week long challenge to see who can get the most steps in or who can go to the gym the most. Um, Also, if it's nutrition wise, maybe we can start sharing in some of the posts and some of the videos. Maybe we can share some of the pictures of our food to help encourage others to kind of be mindful of the portion size and things like that. So, but again, it all starts with a like and a follow. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you next time.